Good morning, beautiful friends. How are you all on this beautiful Friday morning? It is Friday. Yay. Friday, yay. You know, all that. It's a 3-day weekend here for us. With Memorial Day, Mike gets Memorial Day off, of course, and he is leaving work early today. He's only working 4 hours today, so that makes it even better. And I need to see where I'm going next. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. It is 7:29 on the 24th, 70 degrees. Just got a little pop-up from my app Dark Sky saying that drizzle is starting soon in Mililani. We shall see. It's looking kind of sunny out there to me, but what do I know? So I've had some wonderful tips and conversation and thoughts shared with me on my comments over the past couple videos that I want to share with you today. Keep the conversation going, which I absolutely love. And then some other topics. You know, I love having these conversations, but it is making my videos longer. And it is going to be hard to stop whenever I get to the end of my whips. But such is life. All right, so let's see. More about the whole bag thing, whether vinyl is good or not. You know, for the most part, if you're not keeping your project in your bag very long, I don't think it's going to be a problem, right? It's not like I think everybody should go out and totally replace their vinyl front bags. That's just not practical. But another thought, Anne shared yesterday that, you know, conservators do store antique textiles in cotton bags. And so if you have gotten a bag from like Evertotes, Caroline Off the Grid Needle Arts store on Etsy called Evertotes, those are all cotton fabric. Another one is Diddly Daddle Designs. Those are all cotton. Now the downside is that you can't see into these bags. But if you put one of those little, like, you know, the round tags that you can write on that you can get from an office supply store, just write the project name on it. I think you can even get ones that are like, that you can write on and then clear off with like rubbing alcohol or something. Something like that. So you can get multiple uses out of it. So that's a thought. What other shops do you know of, or what other people do you know of that make all cotton bags that don't have the vinyl bags? That's definitely something to think about. I do have one bag from Diddly Daddle Designs that I won from Michelle Bendy from one of her giveaway. Actually, it was one of the auctions she did on Instagram, the Diddly Daddle. I think that was the autism. Yeah, that was when she was raising money for her autism walk. So I do have one. And you know, the majority of my designs are still in the mesh bags that I got from Amazon. So, and those are a vinyl. So that is something I need to slowly process out. But of course, you know, it takes money. Those things add up. So, over time. Hold on a second. Working on these little petals, you know, they take more counting than I usually do on my videos. So another conversation we were having yesterday was about the Sulky threads. And I had mentioned that my old stitching store, the Stitching Post in Catonsville, Maryland, does carry them individually. Several of you mentioned that you can go to the Sulky website, and of course they have them all individually, but they also have the packs, and they do have the Leeds House sampler pack as well. So you can go directly to the source. I wasn't aware that Sulky had a website where you could buy. I didn't know that they were a retail distributor as well as wholesale. So that is good to know. Let's see. And I guess quite a few LNSs are selling it, and some Etsy shops. Terry mentioned that there is an Etsy store called Simply Eileen, where she actually gives some details about using it. So one thing with your unused thread, it is a snap down lid on the spool, so you can put your unused portion of your thread back on the spool and snap it into the lid to keep it in there. She also said if you put your thread into your needle like it comes out of the spool, it will tangle less. And I think that's true, if I remember correctly from classes I've taken a long time ago, stitching classes. That's true for any thread. If you use it how it's coming off the skein, you know how when you tap it on the one end, it separates easier? That's also the end that if you load it into your needle that way, it should be less tangly, if my memory serves, but you know, my memory has never been that great, let alone as I get older. So the piece I'm working on, as I'm talking about all these little petals, I haven't showed you this yet. This is called Midnight Garden. It is a design from XG Designs. Let me just stick that in there. So Midsummer Garden. She designs, I think this is her design as well. She might have somebody else doing the designing, but I think it's her, but I'm not 100% sure. Midsummer Garden. So it is these gorgeous purples and greens and golds. This is available in her Etsy store. The fabric that is called for, excuse me, I'm a little flummy this morning, is her Rocky Mountain fabric, which is this gorgeous mottled gray. I mean, it's just a gorgeous fabric. The pattern calls for 32 count. I got a 36 count. And you know, the great thing about the XG Design fabrics, she serges all the edges. All the pieces come just beautifully prepared. And it smells so good. I don't know what she uses on her fabrics, but it smells so good. Now, it does come with all of the flosses, too. These are all of hers. Lady in Green. Wicker Basket. Look how pretty. Look at this purple. This is Full Bloom. So this is the main purple. Look how gorgeous. Buttermilk Cake. Lavender Field. That's a gorgeous one too. Bright Leaves. And Gray Wolf. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? So the Gray Wolf is here. You can see the pretty greens and the purples. Oh. So I completed that flower so I could see all the different colors come into play. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, XG Design. This is on my docket for today. Now yesterday, as you know, was the beautiful Luz. And I am working on this flower here. So I got the rest of this leaf done, and got about half of this terracotta color in the flower done. Again, these are Soie d'Alger silks, the called for silks. And I mentioned yesterday that, okay, first of all, as a side note, the color is much more creamy yellow than what you are seeing on screen. The iPhone is washing it out a bit. I mentioned yesterday that, wow, these stitches were tiny. It just seemed much tinier than a 40 count, and I thought that's what this was. Well, let's see, who was it? Tammy? Was it Tammy? Where did I put my note? I can't find my note. Anyways, I think it was Tammy said that, yeah, there's a reason it's smaller. It's because it's 46 count. This is the fabric that was for the Eliza Bell Cox design this is the fabric from Nancy at Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. And it is the pack that she made, the threads and the fabric, the fabric is a 46 count. So yeah, it is a lot smaller. And then somebody else commented that the Soie d'Alger silk, each strand of the silk is equal to about a strand and a half of DMC. So it is quite puffy on here. I don't mind it being a little bit puffy. Usually I don't like that really strong coverage. I don't like fighting with getting the threads through the holes, but I'm not having any problem with the silk on this fabric. So 46 count fabric from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop with Soie d'Alger silks. And I have to say, I'm quite impressed with myself that I'm not, once I got into good light, I wasn't having any problem with the 46 count. So that made me happy. That's the first time I've stitched. You know, up here I was thinking it was 40 count. And actually, it's not really the same doing all of these on a 40 count because you're going over 2 strands, 3 strands, that kind of thing, as it is working the full cross stitch. But I didn't realize it was 46 count. Anyway, onward and upward. So today I'll work on this and interchange it with my small. I did the same thing yesterday with Lou's, going back and forth between the 2 projects. And yeah, that's working really well. Where am I going next? Hold on. See, this is a more difficult one to do while I'm talking. I'm losing track of myself. 1, 2, 3. I need to mark these off. I actually have a digital copy of this pattern as well. She provides both the download and the hard copy. I'm not using the digital today because I want to be able to use my iPad to look at my notes of the different things we've talked about. So yeah, I'm in the digital copy, I'm sure I'm keeping track of everything of where I am. So forgive me for my stumbling around a little bit today. So let's see, what else? Speaking of Victorian Motto, I had talked yesterday about my color conversion and how, you know, Nancy doesn't do redos of her colors, so you're not necessarily going to be able to find what I've used in any of my color conversions, but you can find similar things. But somebody did come back, I think it was Christina, did come back. Oh, it is drizzling out there. There you go. Christine mentioned that there are some of Nancy's flosses that she does have DMC conversions for. So if she has dyed a floss, like all of the Eliza Bell Cox flosses were based on the DMC that is on the list, you know, or that are the called for in the Eliza Bell Cox sampler. And so she lists on her tags whether she has a conversion or not. So like this one here, the color is 3768. Now, if you look at, I keep, anytime she has a DMC conversion, I do keep it in with the DMC floss. So this is 3768. Now, when you look at this, you see that there is a marked difference between the DMC 3768 and her die. You know, it's close, but it's definitely not exact. But I do keep it in because generally with her DMC ones, there isn't a whole lot of color change. Now, you may be seeing some color change, some variegation. I think it's more a trick of the light of the plastic bag because in real life, there isn't really that much of a change. Now, I do keep it in with the color that it's close to, that it, you know, that she notes, but it's not like I'll interchange these on a project. If it calls for 3768 and I start using her floss, then that's what I'll use in a project. Or if I'm using the DMC, that's what I'll use. Now, for the colors that are very variegated, yellow, green, none. This is actually very similar to the Extrude Design one. Anyways, if they don't have a DMC conversion noted on them, I keep them in their own bags. And these were really the ones I was referring to. When you don't have anything equivalent to go by, you know, you just gotta kind of either ask me for a picture, get a picture from somebody, or you know, get something that's comparable. And there are, like I said, right here, we have one from Extrude Design. This one is more yellow, but there's enough of the other hand-dyed flosses out there that you can find something that's similar. I was going to mention, I'm coming up on 5,000 subscribers. I'm just about at 4,500. And it's kind of like, bam, bam, bam. The next thing I know, I'm at the next milestone. I totally missed 4,000. 4,000 came at the beginning of Stitch Mania. And yeah, it totally came and went. And here I am at like 4,500. So what I'm thinking of doing for 5,000, I expect I'll be at 5,000 easily by the time I get back from StitchCon. So what I want to do, and that will be July 1st when I get back, arrive back on the island. I don't know when my body and my mind will actually get back together with jet lag being what it is coming this far, especially, excuse me, I'll actually have an overnight in Phoenix. I'm just staying at a hotel down by the airport, and then jumping on a plane the next day. You know, want to know the really sad thing, though? I don't think my plane comes until like, yeah, it's like a 2:20 flight out of Phoenix, but it's Monday, and the attic is closed on Monday. I can't even go there. And the airport isn't that far from the attic. Now, granted, I will have just spent the weekend at Keepsakes. It's not like I need to go to another cross-stitch store. But, you know, wouldn't that have been a nice way to spend the day? So, yeah. So, anyway, what I'm thinking of doing is making my 5,000 subscriber giveaway kind of like my favorite things type of giveaway. So, I think I'm going to get some Extrude Designs fabric, because it is my favorite fabric. I'm going to get some of Mrs. Sada's silk floss. I may get a pack of Victorian Motto floss from Nancy. And then, you know, it's kind of sad. I'm trying to think of my favorite designer. Like, I'd like to give away a chart from my favorite designer. And I can't think who that would be. You know, every time I think of one, I think, yeah, well, but then there's also, I might get a copy of Hoity Toity and give a copy of Hoity Toity away. But anyways, that's what I'm thinking. And what I will do So I think, you know, it's kind of, it's a little bit difficult to, I'm trying to talk and organize here at the same time. It's a little bit difficult to keep note of who wants what, basically. I don't know. I have to think about how I want to handle the logistics. I know there's a YouTube commenter app out there that I haven't really used that much. I have to figure out the logistics of this. But anyways, that's what I'm thinking of doing for my 5,000 subscriber giveaway, is just a bunch of different things that are my favorite things. I'm also, you know, after our discussion of needles yesterday, and a lot of you have taught in your comments, have mentioned like where I can get different ones and which ones you like, and you know, all the different needles. I actually have in my cart in Amazon and in my cart in 123 Stitch different needles. So like Bowen, John James, I have a lot of. Those are the petites. Peacemakers, there are peacemakers available on 123 Stitch. So what I think I might do, I'll probably give some needles away. I'm going to get all these different needles and kind of try them all and see if I do have one that is a favorite. I mean, besides the Pat's favorite needles, I need to get more of those too. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about for my 5,000, and that will be in July, like I said, when I get back from StitchCon. And then I may pick up at Keepsakes, see if I can find some kind of goodie from Keepsakes that would be a good giveaway type of thing. So yeah, I thought that would be fun. Let's see. What else do I have in my notes? So somebody, Lynette, asked me if I was looking forward to getting back to my normal stitching normality, she called it. You know, I really go back and forth, because here we are on day 24 of May. So theoretically, or in my world, it is day 24 of Stitch Mania. Now, every once in a while I think, maybe I should just go ahead and call it quits. You know, this is a lot every day. But then I think, but I want to touch all of my whips. There's still ones. I'm only on the L's. Oh no, I'm on the M's now. That's right, Midsummer Garden. I made it to the M's. But I think, you know, I do want to touch all of these. There's still some in my pile here that I can't wait to get to. And then I also think I'm having so much fun talking with you guys every day. And I really do feel like we have this conversation going, this back and forth. I bring up a topic and I get answers and I share it with you all, and it brings up other topics, and you know, we just go on and on. And I really, really enjoy that. So I would miss that. But then on the other hand, you know, my year of BAPS isn't really making much progress at this rate. You know, I had been thinking about doing Christmas in July as well. Last year, for those of you who weren't around, last year for Christmas in July, I did ornaments through the month. And my idea was to start a new ornament every day. I didn't pick ornaments that were small enough to do that. So I think I did through the month, I think I did got 6 or 7 ornaments done, which I thought was pretty good. And my idea was to do that again. And I knew what I was going to do, but I'm thinking now, I really do want to get back to my year of BAPS and just concentrate on that. What I may end up doing, because I want to do ornaments too, what I may end up doing in July is kind of this rotation thing that I've started now. Have an ornament going and, oh for heaven's sakes, and whatever my current Year of BAPS project is. Speaking of tangles, right? Come on. And that might work, because I'm finding I am getting quite a bit done on all of my projects by, you know, working a thread on one, switching to a next, to working a thread on the other. So we'll see. That's a tentative idea, because I do need more ornaments. Of course, pretty much everything I did last year, I think there's only one or two that I actually made, like, finished into an ornament that I could hang. Most of them I made into pillows. And actually, I still have one that I haven't finished yet that's staring at me, even as we speak. Yes, I see you. I know. So anyway, I am looking forward to getting back to my Year of BAPS and making progress, more progress on those beautiful projects, but at the same time, I do want to still continue doing this and touching all of my whips that I haven't touched in a while. We'll see. As we head into June and we get closer to leaving, I might feel the constraints more of stopping this. We'll see. So I had somebody mention to me a few days ago, that would be Erica. She asked me if I had ever considered swimming with the sharks. They have several different people here on the island do these tours where you go out, you know, you go down in a cage like they do with sharks, and I guess they must throw chum in the water. I don't know. And you can swim with the sharks. And I was like, oh my God, I've definitely watched too many shark movies. I don't think I could do that. In fact, Mike and I, like, there's one that goes out of Haleiwa town, up here on the North Shore, and it goes out of the harbor there, and we were walking through the harbor the one day, and we saw it, and I'm like, no, I just no. And Erica said, oh my God, it was so much fun. You'd be amazed. And she said that the largest shark, she said they were about 9 feet, so they were good size. And I said, I just don't know. And she said, well, when her and her husband come back to the island, we'll get together and we'll do it. I said, I think I'm going to need to have some drinks first before I could get up the courage to, I just don't know that I could do that if I was in my right mind. Have any of you done that? Anybody else here done that, swimming with sharks? I literally, I don't think I could. I've done parasailing and I loved it. You know, we want to go scuba diving. Well, Mike wants to get his diving license. I'm not real keen on that. I do want to go out snorkeling. Hopefully we will get to that this weekend. But swimming with sharks, yeah. Just too many shark movies. You know, it's funny, anytime we're watching a show, a movie, and people do something dumb like that, or poke at something, or follow someone, it's like, haven't you ever watched a horror movie? Haven't you ever watched the Sci-Fi Channel? I mean, you just don't do that kind of thing. You see something odd like that, and that is your sign to run away. Run in the opposite direction. How stupid do you have to be? So yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, for heaven's sakes. One of the commenters yesterday said that she thinks I use more floss doing the sewing method than the stabbing method. I don't know that I do. I mean, definitely there's certain directions you go, like as I go up and down like this, you know, when I'm working with variegated and I'm doing single stitches, I definitely do, because, you know, here I'm going over 4 threads, but I would do that. I would do that regardless, I think. It's also the way you're going to the next stitch that helps your stitches to lay evenly. So I don't know. I asked her to, I asked her to clarify that a little more, because I wasn't sure what she meant by that. Anyways, guys, I am at 32, going on 33 minutes. How did that happen? See, you know, you get talking with friends, and before you know it, time has passed, and you've gotten a petal done, and a little, what is this? I guess another petal. It's not the stamen of the flower. There's yellow in the middle, that's the stamen. 2 petals done. Look how pretty. Isn't that floss gorgeous? I'm gonna enjoy this one today. My goal, oh, do I have a goal? I think I might drop down here and get this pretty little flower done. Another one I just want to keep going on. Maybe I should stop, because every time I pick up another one, it's like I just want to keep doing it. All right, guys, I'm going to call it quits there. Breakfast is calling, and I'm going to get on with my day. Oh, and see, now the sun is shining. Actually, I think it is still drizzling and the sun is shining. I love it here. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, actually, no. Tomorrow is Saturday. No, tomorrow I'm getting together with Dee, and she's going to teach me how to make a lei. And then she's also going to go through my fabric stash to see if she can find something to do Quaker Seasons of Friendship on. So I won't do a video tomorrow. Sunday and Monday, I haven't the faintest idea. Since Mike will be home and we hopefully will be out doing stuff, I'm not really sure. But definitely Tuesday, you will see me for a regular floss tube if I don't do it anything else the other days. So until whenever, have a wonderful weekend. For those of you in the U.S., happy Memorial Day. And I will talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.